Hey friends, Caitlin here, and I'm going to show you how you can use points to create a positive classroom community, whether you are actually in your class or teaching remotely. Let's start by opening our demo class. All right, in the top right corner, you'll see options. Let's click that, then edit class, and then skills. This will take you to your skills menu. Before we dive into that, I have a question for you. Who do you want to see points? This is a really important question. Do you want to share all points home with families? Just positive points, or no points and just keep those things contained to your classroom? I like to share all points with families because I want my classroom community to have an open door to families. That means before I even award points, I want to make sure both my students and families understand what points are, what they're supposed to do with them. Really, they're conversation pieces. Whether it's positive or needs work, it's something I want them to talk about at the end of their day. I find it incredibly important to set up what it means to get a needs work point ahead of time, especially. You want families to know none of us are perfect. We're all working on things, and needs work helps us recognize what we need to continue to work on. But also the positive things. I can't call a parent every time their student does something amazing, but if I can award a point real quick and add a note that says, hey, you know that math concept your student was struggling with? They really persevered in that today. That little moment is so incredibly powerful. You get to choose how much each point is worth. So it can be worth anywhere from 1 to 5 points. And when you hop over to the needs work category, you also have the option to choose neutral feedback. This is great for when you want to kind of keep track of something, but you don't necessarily want it to contribute to the student's overall point total. There is no limit to how many skills you can make. So let's press the blue button to add a skill. And I am going to create some kind of skill that I know my students need to work on. Maybe I have, a base set of skills that I know are important at this age level. Maybe we have some school-wide initiatives. I'm going to be incredibly specific so that both my students and families know what that point means. In fact, even better, I like to create these with the input of my students. We talk about how our week's going, what we want to work on, and we may add a skill halfway through the week because it's something that we recognize that we need to work on as a class. I can even bump up that weight in case it's something we really need to work on. Now let's say you really like the skills you set up last year, not to worry. Click Import From at the top right and find your class, and that will import your skills from that class. This also means anyone who shares a class with you, you can import those skills. So let's say there's another second grade teacher and you want to be aligned across the grade level, share your class, import the skills. Or maybe your principal is setting up PBIS school-wide. Your principal can share a class, every teacher can import those skills. That way everybody's on the same page. I can now award points to an individual student, to groups, to the whole class. I can even select multiple students to award feedback to. Even better, I can add a note to points that I award. So if I'm awarding a student a point for perseverance, that's great, that's specific, but even better, adding a note to let their parent, hey, remember that skill they were really struggling with? Today, they were really persevering. By sharing that context, my students and families will have meaningful conversations at home that really support their growth. And yes, that is an undo last point button in the top left corner because, hey, we all make mistakes. Now, when we click on a student, you're going to see redeem points in the top right corner. This is great for anyone who likes doing an economy system, taking the points students have earned and then cashing them out for something in your classroom, like choosing the next brain break. You click redeem points, there's a little celebration, and their point totals change to reflect what they've spent it on. Sharing feedback helps students see the amazing things they're already doing and set goals for the future. Not only that, but it involves families in your classroom community, wherever that may be. Tell us how you use points at ClassDojo.com/community.